You'll be shocked by the recent revelation in the hip-hop industry, a full-fledged courtroom bombshell that is upending the very foundations of rap aristocracy. What happens when a great rapper chooses to expose his long-standing rivals? We're talking about revealing Jim Jones's family in a court file that is so incendiary that it has everyone from Harlem to Hollywood talking. Yes, you heard correctly. Camron just cast the ultimate shade. Speaking of which, is this the most significant betrayal the game has witnessed in years? Or is this just another day in the brutal realm of rap drama? What personal secrets did Camron unearth? And how far will this conflict go? Spoiler alert, it's more juicy than reality TV. We're going to reveal every scandalous detail, all the receipts, and the fallout that's going to blow up the reunion. So stay tuned until the very end. The reality is about to get loud, messy, and downright violent. So grab some popcorn and let's get started. Careers, trust me, you do not want to miss this. Be on the edge of your seat as we examine the specifics of Camron's stunning court filing. This is not a simple family feud or old-school rap feud that has been repeated for clicks. Rather, it is a full-scale legal exposure with allegations. In the middle of the storm, Jim Jones, Harlem's own rapper turned entrepreneur, and his extended family circle are so fervent that they're virtually begging for a Netflix series. Camron's filing depicts a close-knit family business that's not only about success in music, but supposedly founded on a foundation of deceit, fraud, and plain dishonesty. Recall the days of the legendary crew known as the Dipset, who restored Harlem's place on the hip-hop globe. Jim Jones is renowned for his image of prosperity and loyalty through gritty lyrics and streetwise hustle. But Camron's petition says that the image is actually a meticulously crafted facade that conceals a darker truth. What's the dirt exactly? According to Camron, Jim Jones's family has been running a number of phony businesses that are only supposed to be legitimate, but actually transfer millions of dollars through intricate money laundering operations. One of these enterprises is ostensibly a real estate investment firm with high-rise buildings, prime Harlem locations, and a consistent flow of investors, but investigating further, as Camron claims he did with assistance from ghost transactions, exaggerated property prices, and dubious wire transfers are revealed by inside sources, indicating that the funds aren't coming from the location where Jim Jones alleges insiders gave Camron unaccounted for deposits in the millions, frequently followed by swift withdrawals to offshore accounts in the Caribbean and Europe, are shown in stolen bank statements. That's only the beginning. The complaint also charges a number of family members of conspiring in these schemes. Some are specifically identified, while others are mentioned in an anonymous manner. But the message is clear. This isn't a one-man show. The whole family is reportedly involved in keeping up this ornate home of cards, but Camron claims emotional influence goes beyond dubious financial transactions. The documents show that some family members were coerced into silence by threats of disinheritance or public humiliation. Disgraced others were allegedly used as scapegoats as things began to fall apart. As family loyalty is used as a cover for criminal activity, you're looking at a poisonous atmosphere that extends far beyond the rap drama of Camron's. According to the filing, family members have passionate discussions about how to handle the aftermath in private residences during covert meetings. Some demand complete collaboration with authorities, while others insist on maintaining silence at all costs. Stories about elaborate parties, private jets, and costly cars that are paid for with the very money that may be connected to these illegal activities further muddy the narrative. Activities: one unnamed source reported a party where the champagne flowed like water, designer labels dominated the space, and the atmosphere was one of insignificance because it was all based on lying. Fans recall Jim Jones' public persona as the self-assured, larger-than-life character who in music videos threw $100 bills and lived the high life. But Camron's lawsuit raises an important question. How sustainable is that lifestyle if it's bolstered by criminal activities? And more crucially, how long can the family maintain this facade in the face of growing legal scrutiny? Naturally, legal professionals who have examined portions of the petition privately feel the assertions might lead to several investigations into everything from tax fraud to racketeering. They point out that if investigators uncover even a small portion of what Camron says, the whole family could face severe accusations that might completely destroy their empire. Of course, Camron's revelation wasn't unexpected. For years, there have been suspicions and conspiracy theories regarding Jim Jones's family's financial situation. Industry insiders have long assumed that behind the glitzy exterior is a network of covert transactions that aren't always kosher. But until today, no one had the courage or the documentation to go public. And guess what? This court filing came at the right time, released just weeks prior to Jim Jones's eagerly awaited record release, sending shockwaves through the music industry. The question is whether Camron used this as a calculated power move to divert attention, or if it was a sincere plea for justice and the truth. Jim Jones and his team have responded by reaffirming their denial, calling the file a witch hunt with no merit, and accused Camron of attempting to revive an old conflict in order to remain relevant. However, these court documents are the real deal. Social media is a battlefield, and hashtags like Intra-Camron Court Battle and Tro Jim Jones Exposed are trending as media outlets, fans, and legal analysts begin to analyze these records. While serious threads examining the possible ramifications are floating with memes ridiculing opulent Dipset lifestyles, some fans refuse to think their hero might be involved in any criminal activity, while others remark fans aren't the only ones who are discreetly voicing their opinions behind the scenes. Some sources say they're astonished but not surprised by the accusations made against the once close-knit Harlem community. It's about time the truth was out. With alliances changing and the rap community now split as this legal drama plays out, all eyes are on the courthouse. What happens next could redefine not only Jim Jones' legacy, but the entire Dipset brand that has been. The next section will go into the juicy details from leaked reports. Will this family weather the storm, or will Camron's claims cause the empire to collapse? They have been influential for nearly 20 years. With the help of anonymous insider information and the public's furious response to this scandal, we'll unearth the crazy tales that missed the news, the covert meetings, the hush money, and the power struggles that took place behind the scenes. Don't want to miss it. Continuing where we left off, this legal struggle isn't your typical courtroom drama. Camron's filing reads like a thriller, complete with shocking revelations, covert recordings, and cash trails that appear to appear in a Hollywood crime movie. So let's get into the juicy details that have everyone talking behind closed doors and trending on social media. Let's start by discussing the money, since it is evident that's where the true skeletons are lurking. According to private documents that were released directly to Camron's close associates, the Jim Jones family purportedly runs a complex web of claiming to be legitimate enterprises. Shell organizations transfer funds through a confusing web of accounts that conceals the real sources of cash flows. One insider asked to stay anonymous. Investigators were informed by an unnamed individual who claimed to have worked on the family's financial management team that on some evenings, wire transfers from nonsensical locations, specifically empty LLCs, would arrive, set up for money laundering. This source continued by detailing excessive spending sprees that were out of proportion to the income that Jim Jones publicly stated. Luxury cars, private yachts, and exotic trips were all mentioned, without any obvious commercial rationale, while family members allegedly benefited greatly from the plan, further solidifying a culture of secrecy and greed. Leaked bank records provide even more damning evidence. One file purports to depict a $3 million transfer from a Caribbean account to a real estate holding corporation situated in New York. However, another document shows that there is no valid reason for the transaction. Over $500,000 in cash withdrawals in a single month were all reported as suspicious activity, but oddly, none of them were looked into at the time. The complaint also claims that several Camron's legal team claims that family members intentionally tried to conceal assets and avoid taxes by using false identities to open several credit lines and shell accounts. But here's the actual snag. According to the court document, A number of audio recordings that were acquired by unidentified whistleblowers purport to document intimate discussions between Jim Jones and his closest family members are heard talking strategies to keep everyone silent while the money flowed, off-the-books arrangements, and hush payments. One clip that was purportedly released to the media but was never formally confirmed shows a family member saying, "If it's not just business, it's survival. If someone attempts to speak up, they lose everything." The spooky tone depicts a family that is controlled by intimidation and dread, of course, the Jim Jones family. Ting has rejected these allegations as lies and misrepresentations, but insiders in the rap industry have been hinting at them. One seasoned producer told a source, "I've heard stories about some problematic transactions behind the scenes, but nobody had the evidence until today." In the meantime, a former Dipset affiliate who asked to remain anonymous allegedly told us, "I'm not surprised family money gets despite the fact that everything is complicated. This sounds like a whole new level of sadness, and local Harlem leaders and activists are not the only ones responding. They have begun to voice their concerns about how these claims could damage the neighborhood's reputation." According to a community organizer, Harlem has a rich history, and we don't need a scandal like this to overshadow it. Behind the scenes, the filing has shocked the family's business associates, and some companies connected to the Jones family have reportedly started to distance themselves from the neighborhood, quietly withdrawing sponsorships and collaborations to stay out of the scandal. According to sources, private discussions among business partners have focused on damage management and how to run. One insider disclosed that they are attempting to determine which contracts to cancel and who to blame in the event that the feds become involved, a PR nightmare that might get out of hand. Rumors of a federal inquiry have been increasing, but no formal announcements have been made. A government source with knowledge of the matter revealed that the FBI and IRS are among the agencies that have taken, and despite warning that investigations are still in their early phases, the source expressed interest in the case and suggested that financial irregularities found in the file mirror patterns we look for in cases involving money laundering and tax fraud. Returning to the streets, admirers of both Camron and Jim Jones have escalated this into a full-fledged cultural dispute, with others accusing Camron of treachery and others calling Jim Jones's family is a mafia-style business, and even rappers who are not directly engaged have spoken on social media. Some have openly supported Camron's pursuit of truth and accountability, while others have subtly disparaged him. One particularly popular tweet summed it perfectly. "Out of all the commotion, one thing is obvious. This story is about more than just rap. It's a warning about how power works. It comes to light when hip-hop luminaries begin revealing family dysfunction like a reality show. Family relationships and money may become dangerously entangled, and as the story progresses, it's anyone's guess how deep the rabbit hole will go. Will new characters emerge? Will more leaks surface, or will the family be able to stop the fire before it consumes them all? We're only beginning." The last section will explain the consequences, the legal disputes that lie ahead, possible resignations, government investigations, and the public outcry that might make or break what. You won't want to miss the Jones family legacy, because the events that follow Camron's shocking court case are completely changing the Harlem hip-hop scene and going beyond as the drama plays out on all music fronts. The public is eagerly watching as the formerly close-knit Dipset family is now shattered. The business empire is disturbed, and let's start with the legal file. Set off a chain reaction in which Jim Jones's legal team retaliated with vehement motions to dismiss, claiming the allegations were merely strategic, unsubstantiated, and defamatory. Nevertheless, the pressure is growing. A full-fledged discovery process that may involve various family members and associates is about to begin in the courtroom, and several judges have already approved subpoenas for financial documents. Spotlight Legal. If the authorities are able to obtain Camron's financial records, this case is expected to become one of the biggest celebrity-related financial scandals in recent history, according to experts following it. Evidence such as bank records and audio recordings that were leaked could have disastrous repercussions, including heavy penalties and criminal prosecution. Meanwhile, insiders claim that internal disputes within the Jones family are some important family members are discreetly separating themselves from Jim Jones out of concern that their personal connection may be revealed, according to a growing number of insiders. One source informed us that their serious straying has resulted in rumors of possible defections and sealed deals as people are picking sides, and some are getting ready to work with investigators to save themselves. Prosecutors made a move that might change the course of the entire case. If family members who had previously been faithful became witnesses in a courtroom drama worthy of a Netflix film, the public's reaction would be negative. Less dramatically, the hip-hop community is split. While some admire Camron for exposing corruption and defending the truth, others believe that this incident tarnishes the reputation of Dipset and Harlem's rich rap tradition. Jim Jones's brand agreements are suffering greatly in the middle of the crisis, and prominent sponsors have started to discuss the importance of loyalty and the repercussions of combining family and business. Removing their endorsements and advertisements due to brand safety concerns, according to insiders and advertising agencies, because in the current social media environment, businesses don't want to be linked to legal disputes, regardless of how well-knownly. According to one insider, Jim Jones and his crew are under additional pressure due to this financial strain, which could have an impact on future album releases, tours, and business endeavors. When the money stops flowing, the actual issues start to surface on a more personal level. Jim Jones' acquaintances disclosed that he is under a great deal of stress. One confidant stated, "This is not just about business. It's a personal nightmare. Family drama overflowing into the being in the spotlight is painful, and it's weighing heavily on him." Jim Jones has been spotted meeting with top PR experts and legal counsel in an attempt to plan a comeback despite the chaos. Camron has positioned himself as the whistleblower who dared to retract the controversy, and he has worked to repair his reputation. Rumors of a documentary about the affair have appeared, but nothing official has been confirmed. His camp has been quiet in public, but has been working behind the scenes, meeting with investigators and getting ready for what could be a drawn-out legal struggle. This closing marks the end of a family business founded on dubious premises. There are many who believe that Camron's timing was not coincidental, and that he may be using this lawsuit to gain power inside the Harlem rap hierarchy, as well as for justice. In any case, his action has made it very evident that no family, community leaders, and inhabitants of Harlem are preparing for the long-term consequences, while secrets remain safe and no empire is invincible outside of the courtroom. One community organizer told us, "This crisis has put Harlem under a we believe that the microscope will bring about healing as well as accountability, since the community cannot afford to be split by this." At the same time, local NGOs and youth initiatives are, according to reports, sponsors are reevaluating their involvement because of the scandal surrounding one of Harlem's most well-known people, and the media circus around the case has even triggered privacy debates. Loyalty and the thin line separating sensationalism and public interest. Critics contend that artists' private lives should be kept private, while others think that when prominent people have substantial. So as this story unfolds, the music business is keeping a careful eye on it.